Are you tired of the same old pro wrestling? Then check out the amazing action on Powerslam.tv, the biggest indie pro wrestling channel in the world. Get over 4,000 hours of the best pro wrestling events from over 110 of the biggest names in the industry from over 15 countries around the globe. Get your free trial today at Powerslam.tv.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Think Wrestling. My name is Tom, and before I get into the topic of today's video, I want to quickly apologise because unfortunately I won't be releasing any interviews now until after the 20th when I do my next interview, simply because it's just been really difficult to get them arranged this month, unfortunately. I've got one on the 20th, so after that it'll be back to normal, but that does mean that until the 26th, I think is the following Friday after that, I won't be releasing any interviews, so my apologies for that, but there's not much I can do about that. So anyway, although I will stress it, in the meantime I will be trying to get more of these like home videos out, so that at least you've got something to watch in the meantime. But anyway, into the topic of today's video. Now, I've been attending wrestling promotions and shows since 2016-ish. Yeah, since late 2016 when I attended my first one. And in that time I've attended loads. So this video is basically me listing, it's basically me giving you 5 promotions that I think you need to go and see at some point in your lifetime, whether it be this year, next year, sometime in the next 5 years, whatever. I just think at some point in your life you need to make an effort to see these 5 promotions I'm going to list for you. I'll also point out that this list was incredibly difficult to make, so there's no order these are in. I mean, obviously they're listed in an order, but that's not in any way a ranking. I don't. It was so difficult to put this list together. So, where these promotions are on this list is in no way a representation of how I rank them against the other promotions on this list. I'll also point out that I'm only including promotions I've been to see 3 times. Simply because I feel like three times gives me a good enough idea of how a promotion works and functions that I can decide if it's worth me putting on this list. So that's why. So there are a lot of promotions that I love, but I've only ever been to 1 or 2 of their shows, so I wouldn't feel it's fair for me to include them on this list. But yeah, enough rambling. Let's get on to the main topic of this video. So, Fight Club Pro. Now, Fight Club Pro, I'm sure most of you are already pretty familiar with Fight Club Pro. They are one of the biggest, I think, along with Progress, the biggest promotion in the UK, in England, and definitely along with the ICW, International Championship Wrestling in Scotland, one of the biggest promotions in the entire UK, and maybe not the biggest, but well, I reckon one of the best in the world by a long shot, easily. Now, Vodka Pro have got themselves a reputation from putting on 5-star shows. Sorry, that's not wrong down there. Yeah, 5 shows every single time. Now I've been to I think about 5 of their shows at this point. Ish, 5 or 6, I don't know. Yeah, I mean the talent they're able to get on the regular on their shows. People like, I mean, Millie McKenzie, Kaylee Ray, Session Martin, just to name a few of the females. Then they got Omari, who is just skyrocketing. Jordan Devlin as well. Like, there's so many people, world-class talents on the shows. I know they used to get Pete and Trav and Tyler and Trent on all their shows, but I'm not quite sure with the NXT UK scene now if they're still there. But I know that even without those 3 people there are still 3-4 people there, so they've still got massive world-class talent. Not to mention the imports they regularly get. You know, people like now I'm going to pronounce the name wrong, so I apologise for that. Miko. I can't remember the last name. It's begins with an S. I'm so sorry. A Japanese wrestler, basically. But I've seen her, I think, twice now, and she's a phenomenon. Maybe also I know they've got one of the best training schools in the country. I know that Millie trains there. know that Pete and Travis and I think Trent are trainers there, so I know how highly they're regarded in that sort of in that way. You know, they are regarded very, very, very well. They got one of the best tennis schools in the country, essentially. And when you see their trainees on the shows, you definitely know the quality they aim for because of how well even the less experienced trainees perform in comparison to the, you know, veterans like Pete Dunne, and who obviously isn't there anymore, but you know what I mean. So yeah, Vodka Pro, definitely one for your list. Concha Pro Wrestling. Now, Concha Pro Wrestling I refer to as the birthplace of talking wrestling because that's where I've done a lot of my interviews. I've got a very good working relationship with the owners there. And now, Concha Pro Wrestling, they remind me actually a lot of WWE. Now, hear me out before you go and start, you know, ranting at me. They've introduced a new format to their shows, basically. They've got Concha Pro Wrestling, which is their main branch, like WWE has their main Raw and SmackDown branch. Then they've got, I think it's New Blood, which is their sort of training shows where they, I think it's if you want to get the more detailed and accurate description on this, you'll have to go to their Facebook page because there's just, I can't remember enough about it, so my apologies. Yeah, the layout of their shows, well, no, sorry, not layout of the shows, but the way they work as a promotion with their main branch and their New Blood thing, and then I think there's like a Superstar thing as well. So essentially 3 branches in that one promotion. I'm not quite sure. You'll have to check, you know, check on their social media to see about that. But it reminds me a lot of WWE with their main Raw and SmackDown promotions on their main branch, and then the NXT, and then that NXT UK sub branch in the developmental territory, which let's face it, not developmental anymore. But yeah, off topic. So the way they work reminds me a lot of WWE, and I've never once been to a Concha Pro Wrestling where they've not sold out, which is mental. Now, I know that Coventry is a pretty good city for wrestling anyway, so that does help, I guess, but it's so much harder than people think it is to sell out an independent wrestling show. I've been to independent shows, not going to name them, where there's only been maybe like 10 people in the crowd, me being one of those 10 people, and it's just awkward and uncomfortable. I'm not going to name them, but yeah, so the fact they are able to sell out every single time for an independent show that isn't in any sort of affiliation with WWE, like Fight Club I think are, might be wrong there, and Progress definitely are, that's absolutely massive. So if you're in and around the Coventry area around the time one of their shows, whether it be New Blood, their Superstars project, or the main Concha Pro Wrestling shows, I would definitely make an effort to go and check them out. Wolfman Pro Wrestling. Now, Wolfman Pro are a show that I've only been to maybe 4 times now, but obviously it's still part of this list, so they are a big and small push at the same time. Now, hear me out when I say this, I know it might not make a whole lot of sense. Sorry, I can hear things going on outside. Now, they aren't the biggest promotion in terms of the venue that they go to, but they sell out almost every, well, yeah, not almost, they sell out every single time. And I say they're not the biggest promotion. They've got a dedicated following of people. I mean, Wolves is already a great place for wrestling. You know, Vodka Pro is based in Wolves, as I said earlier. So Wolfman Pro is obviously based in Wolves, and I know they are regarded so well around the area. Sell out every single show. There's not a whole lot to be honest I can say about Wolfman, because now I know this might seem bad, but I often do my interviews there during the show, which means I don't see a lot of it. But and then again, I know one might be thinking, well, how can you then qualify with this list? But I have been to at least 3 of their shows. I know that for a fact, and I've seen enough of their matches and of their shows to know how good they are. And James, the promoter, he puts his life into that. He puts his blood, sweat, and his tears into that. So that's, and it pays off massively. You know, they are so well regarded in that area. So just getting other things there. So yeah, Wolfman Pro. If you're around the Wolves area, then Vodka Pro and Wolfman are definitely two promotions you need to check out. I can't say you should check out Vodka Pro more. I can't say you need to check out Wolfman more, because they both function differently, you know, as each promotion does. So if you can make it to both, get to both. If you can only make it to one, then it's not up to me to say. It's down to you to really decide what's best for you. But you need to make it to at least, at least one Wolfman Pro Wrestling show, I'll just say, in your lifetime, because they're absolutely fantastic. Pro Wrestling Subjective. Now, anyone who is watching this currently knows how highly I regard Pro Wrestling Subjective as a promotion. I do most of my interviews there. I work really well with Steve Valentino, the owner, and I regard them as one of the best and most underrated promotions in the country. There is honestly not enough good things I can say about them. They function so well as a promotion. Steve always knows what's going on. Now, being backstage at shows, you get a sort of grasp that that not everything will go according to plan. And so what you need to do in that case, you need to be able to improvise extremely well. And Pro Wrestling Subjective do that really well. They're able to adapt to any issues that overcome them, so that they run into, and they are able to overcome them and improvise so well. And that's why they function so well as a promotion. And Steve is such a friendly guy to talk to, so it's easy to see why they are so well regarded, not only by the wrestlers on the shows, but by the fans who go there as well. So and now, their recent show was at Rally Regis, but I was speaking to Steve a couple of weeks ago, and he said that they are going to be, I think, moving venue. Now, they've not announced that, so I won't go into detail any further. But yeah, I will definitely keep an eye on their Facebook page for that. Just so you know what they're doing, because they won't be Valley Regis anymore, I don't think. So keep an eye on their social medias. As always, links to everything, so Vodka Pro, Wolfman, PWS, and all that sort of stuff will be linked down in the description below. Sorry, but yeah, if you can make it to a Pro Wrestling Subjective show, you will not be disappointed, especially now that the OG PWS champion Jesse Jones has returned. So they're definitely a promotion for you to check out. Wrestle Island, and the last, but certainly not least promotion on this list, Wrestle Island. Now, they are based in Birkenhead, Liverpool, and they've got a massive following in that area. I've been to a few of their shows now, and I'd say they're one of the fastest growing promotions in the country. They've gone from the Birkenhead, I think it was the Little Theatre, which is, if you've been there, you know it's not the best for wrestling, and even, to be fair, even they said so. But they have since moved to the Birkenhead Youth Club. I know they got a show coming up on the 5th of May, which I know that's going to be that's in a temporarily new venue. Yeah, they've got they have come on leaps and bounds since I went to their first ever show, and I was there at their first ever show. So comparing their first show now to the most recent show that I went to, the progress they've made is astounding. They've come on so far, and the wrestlers on that show equally have come on just as far. It's such a well-oiled machine. It's insane how well as a promotion they function. So if you're in and around the Birkenhead area, I would strongly advise you go and check them out. Not to mention they've got some of the best and most underrated wrestlers in the country. They've got lots of Sean Only, Terry Izzet, Alexis Falcon, Jade, Jessica Light, Lucas Steele, the new wrestling champion, just name a few. So I could go on for days about the talent they've got on their show. So if you're able to make it to one of their shows, you absolutely must. It is an experience that you won't forget anytime soon, trust me. So, thank you very much for watching me. That was my basically just a list of shows that I think, well, both that I think you need to check out at some point in your life. Again, whether it be this year, next year, or whatever. I'm not gonna ramble on for too long. Because I've obviously made my main point. With interviews, yes, I do apologise. There's not much I can do about that apart from just apologise. Really, it's been quite difficult for me to arrange it, but I will be back with my interviews on the 20th of this month. That'll be when my next one is. Then that'll be uploaded on the following Friday on the 26th. So I apologise for my lack of interviews until then, but not much I can do about that. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and get more of these home videos out. So. Yeah, thank you for watching. If you liked it, hit the like. If you didn't like it, thumbs down it. Tell me how I can improve. I try to get better, as I always say. If you're new here, make sure you subscribe. It really, really, really does help me out massively. And yeah, I will see you in a bit. Peace out.